Hi everybody, we have a whole new setup as you guys can see. Happy Wednesday. And you guys are obviously super excited. I know I am about this week's topic. So we are going to be talking about things that I wish I knew as a beginner. And if whether you're a beginner, whether you're 1 year into your journey, there's always room for learning more and making improvements. Trust me, I've been working out for about 5 years now. And even I'm learning a whole bunch of new things. And so I want to share it with you guys. And I can't wait to dive deep into everything. And please, please, please ask questions anytime throughout this. Like, this is definitely like something where I want you guys to be able to feel like this is a safe space. You can ask me questions at any point, cut me off even. Like, I'm here for you guys. I want you all to be able to see results, learn. So get your notepads because we're going to dive deep into this week's topic. Okay, so how much water you drink with creatine? Okay, we're already starting off right off the bat with questions. I love it. Okay, so this person asked, how much water do you drink with creatine? So me personally, I drink about 90 ounces. I'm not perfect, but 90 ounces should probably be like your bare minimum of how much you should be drinking with creatine. But you'll want to be aiming for about like 120 ounces. So that's probably more ideal. So my first talking point, I have my notes. You guys already know I have my notes here, but my first talking point of things that I wish I knew as a beginner is mindset over perfection. Now this can go a lot of different ways, okay? So we want to strive for progress, not perfection, okay? I see people, sorry, Miss, did you say 90 ounces of water? That should be like your bare minimum is 90 ounces of water. How many meals should you eat throughout the day if you want to gain muscle? Depending on your metabolism, it should be like you could be somebody who has like a very fast metabolism, then you'll want to be having like more small, frequent meals throughout the day. So that could be like 4 meals, including snacks. Like me personally, I have 4 meals and one of them is including snacks. I do have a pretty fast metabolism that I've worked on over the years to train it to be faster. So I have a lot of like snacks in between so that way I can be able to put on lean muscle. But about 3, it should be your like regular average number. But yeah, okay, back to my topic. So mindset over perfection. You want to strive for progress over perfection. You don't want to go to the gym and just like already throw things out there of like, I'm gonna lift this much, I'm gonna do this much. And you're kind of setting these unrealistic expectations and it kind of like sets you up for failure in a way down the line because you're expecting to have all these results. I know for me, when I first started, I was super excited and eager to use weights, pick up barbells, all this stuff, but my form was not up to par, like whatsoever. My form was like absolute like dog poop. It was so bad. But I was really like, oh yeah, this is what's gonna make me build muscle. This is what's gonna make me get bigger. But that wasn't the case at all. And it wasn't actually up until like 3 years into my fitness journey where I genuinely was striving for progress over perfection. And that's a long time that it took for me to learn everything. My first year to 2 years of being in the gym was definitely a learning process. There was a lot that I did wrong, and that's exactly why I'm here, is to help you guys be able to avoid those mistakes that I did make. A lot of it came to like my nutrition, which I'm actually about to get into next. But yeah, you want to focus on your form over anything. Like when it comes to being physically in the gym, if your form is not matching the weight, then you need to drop the weight. You're going to make more results by picking up a lighter dumbbell. Like me currently where I'm at, I am not even lifting at what my max used to be. And that's because I'm making the choice of what my form needs and being able to lift at a weight that is like equivalent to that, because I am not trying to pick up double the weight of like what I used to and have bad form and then end up hurting my back. We don't want that, because if you hurt yourself, then you're just, again, setting yourself up for failure, and you're not even going to be able to go to the gym because you hurt yourself because your form was bad. So just to keep in mind. So next talking point I have here is nutrition matters more than you think. Now, when I first started in the gym, I did not understand my macros. I barely understood calories. I mean, like, I knew to look at the nutrition label on the back of any box of food that you had or bag of food or whatever. I knew to look at that and I knew to just add, added calories. I used like a calorie calculator. We actually have one on our website that you can go ahead and be able to use. It's free to use, and it's like a little quiz that helps you be able to find what your calories are. So I highly recommend that you guys go do that, because a lot of times people are inaccurately like measuring their food, eating their food, and then they question like, well, why am I not seeing results? And it's all because they were inaccurately tracking. But anyways, back to what I was saying. You can go ahead and find that on our website. It's free to use. And we also give you like some recommendations of products after you finish the quiz too that can help you reach those calorie goals. But yeah, okay, sorry, I got a little distracted. But yeah, going back to what I was saying with my previous, like when I first started, I had no idea about my macros, and macros are very important. Like they're super important. But I would just look at the calories and I would just add everything up. So in my mind, I was thinking that a bag of potato chips was like perfect to throw into my everyday routine, to like completely total it into my daily calories. So if I was eating at like 1,800 calories, I would be like, okay, my bag of potato chips is 200. Now I only need 1,600 calories. And it was like that every single day. And I would try to make up my calories by eating multiples of everything. Like I remember, this is traumatizing. I remember I used to go ahead and get like so many TV dinners. And if you guys know like what TV dinners are, it's basically like the frozen meals that you get at like Walmart, Target, whatever your local grocery store is. You get those frozen meals and you just like pop it into the microwave. I used to eat at least 2 of those for one meal, because I was like, I need the calories. Like this has 200 calories, this has 400 calories, perfect. But I never looked at the actual like macros or the ingredients, like what went into it. A lot of those things were very high in sodium. A lot of them had a lot of saturated and unsaturated fats that really equivalated to me getting bigger and like puffing out and retaining so much water in my face, and I was always bloated. There was just a lot that went into it. But I did learn the hard way. I literally learned the hard way, and that's why I'm here to tell you guys, like, don't do that. Like, really take care of your calories and your macros, because it does matter. It really does. Like, I learned the hard way, like looking back at old pictures, like you guys saw it from last week. You can even see it like on our TikTok and on our Instagram videos. Like you can see how big I used to be, and it was literally all because of improper nutrition, and I was not prioritizing. And you guys already heard about me last week about whey, how I would literally have a whey protein shake in the morning, a whey protein shake at night. Like it was bad. Like I used to consume so much, and I was never really prioritizing like whole foods, like getting fresh ingredients, or even if it was frozen, like frozen veggies, frozen shrimp, like even if it was things like that, that's much better alternative than relying on a bag of potato chips to make up my calories. So that's my overall point, is you want to take care of the nutrition. You want to take care of what you're putting into your body. And because it matters, it does. Like you should really be prioritizing your whole foods, getting in lean meats, like all of those matter just as much as taking your creatine every single day. So and don't get me wrong, you want to have balance, you do. Like you don't want to go your whole life being like, oh, I can never have a bag of potato chips. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever at all. Because I have my favorite bag of chips at home that I've been snacking on every single day. But like I'm not counting that towards my calories, because it's not full nutrient based calorie meal that we're going for. So, but it's okay to have balance. It's okay to have it. I don't have these bags of chips every single day. I have them once in a while. Like I think the last time I had them was probably a month or 2 ago. But that was just me personally. Like these chips are really like out of the way to go get. They only sell them at like this one store. So that's like my reasoning. But don't get me wrong, I love bundt cake. I love going to In-N-Out. If you guys don't know what In-N-Out is, it's like a hamburger place. Like I love eating out. Don't get me wrong. But everything comes with like moderation and balance. So that's everything, just tying in everything all together. When I used to eat double the portions to make up my calories, try not to do that, because moderation is key. Especially if you are somebody who's like a binge eater or just can't control your portions, You really want to make sure that you are like either tracking, using a weight scale, or measuring cups, whatever, just to make sure that you're getting an accurate measurement of your food. Because that is a lot of the times people come to me being like, well, I'm not seeing results. And then I'll be like, are you accurately, like, if you're tracking, you're open to tracking your food, are you accurately tracking? Because for me, I know I wasn't at one point. So we learn from our mistakes. But going back to macronutrients, just as important as it is to get in your whole foods and to take your protein supplements, like all of those tie in together in order for you to have a good relationship with the kitchen and to see results, because those two things are very important. The three main macronutrients that you focus on are your proteins, fats, and carbs. And all three of those are like crucial, like to your overall functioning. And I know like what I was talking about before, about how like I never really tracked my macros. I didn't really understand what macros were when I first started working out, and I only looked at the calories. Like you really should check it out, because you could be eating something that's so high in calories, but it only has like 2 grams of protein in. And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh my gosh, I still have like 50 grams of protein in that I have to get in at the end of this day. And it's just a lot. And if you are somebody who's not open to tracking with like an app or of some sort, like I know for me, like that consumed the heck out of me, to the point where I was like freaking out if I didn't reach my calorie goal. Or my macro goal, like I literally was freaking out. So if you're somebody who is like me, like you have trauma, like you don't want to use a calorie tracking app, you could do like what I do, which is a little old school. Like I will just like write it out. I'll write out like a weekly plan. I don't do it so often now because it's become basically secondhand nature. But if you do it on a consistent basis, like on a weekly, like every Sunday, write out your calorie goal, like what you need to reach, what your grocery list is going to be to reach that calorie goal. I'll write out what your meal recipes are going to be, so then you can write it down so you'll know in advance before you actually go ahead and cook everything, like what your calorie is and what your like end of day, like you'll be making sure that you're hitting your calorie goal and making sure you're hitting your protein goal and whatnot. So you can most definitely do all of that, write it down. I do that. Again, I don't do it as much because it has become secondhand nature for me at this point, just because I did it so much. And that could happen to you too. Like you do it with repetition, it does become like, again, secondhand nature. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, so that if anybody has any questions, like please stop me at any point and ask questions. I'm here. I want to be able to help in any way, shape, or form, like whether it's with your own personal journey, if you have your own personal calorie, macro, fitness question, protein powder, like whatever the case may be, fitness related, I am here for you guys. So please feel free to stop me at any point. I know I am a yapper and I am just rambling on and on and on. So please feel free to stop at any time. Now, the next thing that I will talk about is lifting won't make you bulky, okay? What makes you bulky? And a lot of this time, we should an episode on how to plan out meals. Yes, I love that idea, Salpy. Like if you guys agree with Salpy, like either leave a comment or like this live stream so we know what you guys are interested in and what you guys want us to talk about, because we want to be there for you and help you 100%. For SNAR FB, it's totally up to you in regards to like the whey protein. Like if you're, you know, somebody who can like digest it, tolerate it, like that's totally up to you. I wouldn't recommend it just in the long run. Like it just made me bloated. It's known to make people bloated. It's known for like breakouts, like acne breakouts. And just overall, like if you want to have a better digestive system, I 100% recommend just like the One Soul vegan protein. And if you have noticed like a difference when you take One Soul versus like a vegan protein powder versus a whey one, there's like a clear difference. So I would recommend sticking to just the whey. I'm not whey, the vegan one. Next is the lifting won't make you bulky. Okay, so this whole like misconception of like lifting will make you bulky. A lot of people just think that, oh, like I'm gonna go lift arms today, I'm gonna go hit legs, like I'm gonna get huge, I'm gonna get jacked. That's not the case at all. The only way that, hold on guys, I'm making Salpy moderator. Salpy's so excited to be moderator. Okay, so back to being like why lifting doesn't make you bulky. I used to very much think that, and the only way I got bulky was by eating so much, and that's the only way that you really truly can get bulky is if you are bulking and you are bulking a lot. So if you're bulking a lot and if you are lifting extremely heavy, like you are training like a bodybuilder, like an intense bodybuilder, and you like it takes a lot to get bulky. And like bulky, I mean like that is somebody's genuine goal is to get huge. It takes a lot to get to that point. Like it really does depend on your genetics, and especially being like a woman, it's way harder than you think to actually get bulky unless you are training and eating to be able to do that. So if you're, eating at, a caloric deficit, if you're eating at maintenance, if you're even in a small bulk and you're eating clean, whole foods, you're moderately training, you will not get bulky. And again, let me emphasize this. Unless you are lifting so heavy to the point where you're like a sumo lifter, like you are really challenging yourself in the gym on a constant basis where you are continuously lifting so heavy that like it's insane, then you will become a little bit more like, quote unquote bulky is just being muscular. You'll just become muscular. So if that's your goal, you can most definitely do that. But if that's not your goal, then just eat in a caloric deficit or at maintenance. And if you are trying to do a bulk, just do a small bulk. You don't have to do like an intense bulk. So that's just something I wish that I understood when I started, because, a lot of the people were like, oh, like I don't want to be bulky. Like picking up a dumbbell is going to make me bulky. It's not. Girl, like if you're picking up anywhere between like 10 pounds to 50 pounds like of dumbbells, you're good. Like, trust me, you'll be fine. You're not gonna get bulky. It takes a lot of hard work. Like, I'm not even like intense hard work to become bulky. So, and you have to like eat a lot. Your eating has to match everything. So you have to be having to eat like triple what you're eating. I know at one point in my journey, I really wanted to gain weight so quickly that I was eating at like 3,000 calories, and I'm not big. Like I was a small person. I mean, I'm only 5'3", for you guys to know, I'm 5'3", and at the time I was probably 120 pounds, and I was eating like 3,000 calories because I really wanted to get bigger. And in fact, I did get bigger. I did. Like looking back at pictures, like you guys saw it from last week, I did get bigger. I looked, when I would flex, like it was like ready for takeoff. My back and my lats, like it was ready for an airplane to land on. Like she was huge back then. But it all just depends on you and your goals, okay? So just keep that in mind. Whatever you're training for, you train with intention. And then, okay, my next talking point is recovery is just as important as training. Okay, we had a whole live stream about how important it is for rest and recovery. I didn't even know this until maybe like 2 to 3 years into my fitness journey, because I used to just be like, okay, like I did my workout, I ate all my calories, I'm done. But no, it goes way beyond that. Like you guys need to understand, when you're starting your fitness journey, this is not a hobby. You can make it a hobby, but you won't be expected to see like the results that you want to see. You can do it just to like for mindset, clarity, breathing, whatever, stretching. But if you are training and going to the gym with the intention of seeing results, this is a lifestyle. This is not something that, again, is a hobby. This is a lifestyle that you're going to be like training for every single day. And this is something that's like 24 hours. So resting is extremely crucial. We had a whole talk about it. You want to get your BCAAs in. We have our hydration. Like you want to stay hydrated. Anytime you're in the gym and out of the gym, like you need to properly rest in order for your muscles to break down and rebuild. And during the rebuilding process is when they become stronger, bigger, whatever your goal is, okay? So rest and recovery is crucial. Sleeping is super important. That's like everybody's number one way of resting and recovering. Okay, actually, I just thought of something too. I'll get into that topic right after I finish this one. It's still on the same topic, but you'll understand. But sleeping, you want to make sure that you are sleeping through the night. Don't go to bed at 10 p.m. and then wake up at 1 a.m., go on your phone for a little bit, and then go back to sleep and wake up at 5. It's not going to work that way. Okay, you need to have proper rest and recovery to the point where you get into REM, which is like the deepest part of your sleep. Like, you need to get into that part. You need to sleep through the night. Make sure you're taking, like, your supplements to help you sleep, whether that's your magnesium or your beauty sleep, whatever the case may be, to help you get a whole good night rest. Okay, so that's super important. How many rest days should you have? I'm so glad you asked that question, okay? Now when I first started in the gym and I wanted to grow my glutes, I didn't know what to do. So when I first started in the gym, I had no idea how to properly train and rest my body. And I was actually lifting Monday through Friday. Every single day I was hitting legs. And I was getting tired. I was not like, why am I not seeing results? I did it for a month. I did a month of that right before I took the time to actually understand what to do. You should only have about 2 to 3 days of leg day. So for me, I like to do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Sometimes if I'm having an off week, I'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. As you can see the pattern, as long as you're having 24 to 48 hours of rest in between each muscle group. So if you are somebody who likes to train upper body, again, probably 2 to 3 times a day, making sure that you're not training the same muscle back to back. So if you did back day on Monday and you want to do back again on Tuesday, you can't do that, okay? Don't do that, okay? You need to have 24 hours of rest at least in between each muscle group, okay? Otherwise, it will not be able to properly recover in order for it to build, become stronger, or grow muscle, okay? I think I got sick when I wasn't resting. Oh no. I hope you're feeling better. But yeah, when I was lifting and doing leg day, like literally Monday through Friday, I was exhausted. I wasn't seeing results. I was plateauing because I was trying to do all these different things. I didn't stick to a routine. I was going into the gym blind and sort of just doing whatever I saw online. At the time, this was before I used TikTok, because this was like 2020 or like end of 2019. And I was just like looking up on Pinterest, like lower body workouts. And if you've done that before, you know exactly what I'm talking about when you see all those like weird pictures of like 25 different exercises to help grow your glutes. And I would do that, like I would do a whole different one every single day. Like it was bad. But I don't recommend you do that whatsoever. Like, do not do that. If there's one thing to take away from this, do not do that. Do not work out your body every single day, like the same muscle every single day. Don't do that, okay? I'm gonna get a swig of water really quickly. Oh, it's over here. Make sure to stay hydrated, guys. That's what we need. Okay, so my next talking point is supplement support. They don't replace, okay? And it's crucial that I say this, especially as One Soul and, all the amazing supplements that we have. It is not to put into place or replace your actual nutrition. And I know we talked about nutrition already. I know I touched on this already, but if you just now joining and seeing this, nutrition is something that you will never, ever like escape from seeing results, because what you put into your body is, I think every single live stream I've said this since my very first one, what you put into your body is what makes up your results. So you can be 80% of your results is coming from the kitchen, what you're cooking, what you're eating, what you're placing into your body, versus 20% of your results is coming from the gym, okay? So just remember that balance, because whatever you're doing in the gym, like you could be doing everything perfect in the gym, you could be taking your supplements, but if you're not eating properly to like replenish, to fuel, like you are not gonna see your results. Again, everything of our supplements is to support you, to enhance you, to rebuild you, to speed things up, make things faster of a process. That's what we're here for, is to make your whole fitness journey as easy as it can be, and as smooth and simple and quick and effective. We're here to help boost you with our entire supplemental, is that a word, supplemental? Wayne, can you fact check me? Supplemental, is that a word, guys? I don't even know. I might just be making up my own words. I did see we had a question. As a beginner, do we really need the natural fat burner? Yes, I would say as a beginner, it's crucial to help with your metabolism, especially if your metabolism has been quote unquote like broken or not working, because that is something I had to train my metabolism for, and it took me a lot longer. So again, everything I say is like the supplements we do is to enhance, to help, to support. It is a great way to boost your metabolism for it to start working properly. So when you do start eating properly in the kitchen, it's reflecting that into your results. Because a lot of the times, and this goes for people who are trying to gain weight as well. I fell under that, where I had a quick metabolism when I was younger in high school. It was a lot faster than obviously what it is now as I've gotten older. But that was my time when I was trying to build muscle. I was trying to gain weight because of how small I was. And I had to train my metabolism in a different way. But again, it's the same thing. You have to train your metabolism, because a lot of the times when people have been trying to lose weight, they are actually like putting their body into survival mode by not eating properly. They think that eating less is going to help them lose weight quicker, but that's not the case at all. And then they end up ruining their metabolism. And I'm using air quotes because I don't want to say that you're ruining your metabolism. Obviously, I don't want to say that. But a lot of the times people will hinder their metabolism just simply by not properly fueling it or nutritioning it. And so when they actually do start to try to lose weight, it's a harder process. It's a lot longer because your body was already compromised before by when you were trying to eat less. And when you were doing that, you were harming it. So it's a whole process of where you have to get your metabolism back in check. So I highly recommend it to people to be able to, incorporate the fat burner so that way they can boost their metabolism. And also our hydration stick packets will help too, because it has metabolite in it. We actually had a whole debate. Is it metabolite or what was it? Metabolite or metabolite? What do you guys say? Super side off topic, but metabolite or metabolite? Either way, it helps with your metabolism. That's the whole point I'm trying to make, is with our hydration. So our hydration, our fat burner, our beauty sleep, all of those are here to help you with your metabolism and boost it. And it's super crucial and important that you guys do get that in check, because otherwise it's going to make it a lot harder for what you do supplement and put into your body in terms of food to actually reflect the goals that you're trying to make. So again, overall talking point is how important it is to eat properly in the kitchen with whole foods, like real foods, everything, and then all the supplements that you take. Salpy's like metabolite. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, metabolite. I don't remember metabolite, metabolite. See, it's like a whole thing. Okay. But yeah, supplements are there to help boost you, help to make things easier, help to make it just overall more effective for you and just speed things up a little bit better, okay? Because, sometimes doing things on your own is going to take a lot longer. Like for me, when I had to train my metabolism, it took years for me to get to that point. So just to keep in mind, supplements are to support, but you still need your proper nutrients from whole foods. Do not rely solely on your supplements to see results. Okay, my next talking point. Oh wow, it's already been 30 minutes. I didn't even realize that. I still have more talking points, guys. Okay, we're almost done though. But my next talking point is form over ego lifting. Now, this was something that took a while for me to understand and to get myself adjusted to. Let me sit back for this one. When I first started working out, I was like, I need to lift heavy. That's the only way that you're gonna, I knew that I needed to progressive overload. I knew I needed to do that. I heard that everywhere. I heard it from everybody, every influencer you could ever think of back in 2020 on TikTok about how you needed to, progressive overload. But in my, uneducated, didn't know what I was doing mind, I was like, okay, progressive overloading. Like, even if my form was chaos, I was still trying to lift heavy and I was still trying to, max out on my reps. But I ended up hurting myself a lot. And that ended up, having to take so many extra rest days, getting myself out of the gym, like so many points where I had to take months off. Like, there was just a lot wrong with my form because I was ego lifting. So you don't ever want to ego lift, okay? You want to make sure that when you're lifting, start off with the lightest weight that you think is right for you, whether that's 10 pounds, like no shame at all if you're getting 10 pounds. Can you take beauty sleep if you're fasting? Yes, you can. You can if anything, that's going to help you. I always, Salpy already responding. When is protein coming back? Which protein? We have lots of protein. But if you're talking about fresas con crema, that is on its way back. Trust me, guys, she's coming. We are trying it. We're trying to make sure that she's coming as quickly and as fast as she can. So we know how much you guys loved her. She's coming. But going back to form over ego lifting, your form is crucial. It took me about 4 years to actually take a step back from lifting heavy to genuinely work on my form. And I have seen the most progress ever since. The fastest progress I've ever since, the most glute growth I've ever seen. Like, you can fact check me and look at my before and afters of like my whole entire journey. I have seen the most development in my goals is to grow my lower body. So I'm talking a lot about my lower body. I have seen the most success by taking a step back and genuinely focusing on my form. And even though I've been working out for 5 years, I didn't do that until about 4 years into my journey. And even when I was around like 2 to 4 years into my journey, I was not ego lifting, but I was definitely lifting high in weight altogether, that I wasn't seeing the right results because maybe somewhere subconsciously in my ego, I was like, oh, I can lift this, I can do this. But once I took that step back and really focused on my form this last year, I have seen the most growth. I have seen the most, I've developed the most mind to muscle connection you can possibly think of. It has been nothing but success by taking that step back. So I highly recommend to you as well that you really focus on your form. And a lot of the time people ask me well, how do you know when you can progressive overload? How do you progressive overload? And there's more ways to progressive overloading than just lifting heavier. You can get higher in your reps. You can do more sets. You can do supersets. You can break down with pausings and changing the time under tension, slowing down the movement, speeding it up, whatever. There's so many different ways that you can progressive overload besides always adding weight. And then that follows with my next question of well, how do you know when to add weight? When the rep becomes easy, when you've done point A, B, C, D, when you've done all of those, which is just if you can do 20 reps easy, if you feel you can superset it and not be tired, if you feel that you can do slow it down, if you can add a pause, if you could do all of those things with the weight and you are still feeling good to, go lift heavier, go an extra 5 pounds, even if it's 2.5 pounds. If you feel you could do all of those things, then that's a great sign for you to be able to up the weight and do more. But I highly recommend, if you are somebody who's feeling a little unsure of when they can up the weight, try adding more reps, try adding more sets, try adding a pause, try slowing down the tempo of the movement. And then if you can do all 4 of those things, then go ahead and up the weight. So that brings me to, I have 4 more talking points, guys. Stay with me. Okay, tracking progress beyond the scale. I used to heavily rely on the scale. And it got to a point where I was like measuring myself every single day. It got to a point where I was every week, like I was looking at the scale to determine all of my success. If that scale wasn't moving, I felt like a failure. And that's exactly what you don't want to do. Like that's exactly how you don't want to feel or make yourself get to that point, because there's other ways to track your progress. I highly recommend that you take pictures, whether you feel uncomfortable, because trust me, future you is thanking you and waiting for those results. And the only way that you'll ever be able to see that progress is if you have those pictures or videos to look back on. I wish I took more when I first started in the gym, because I knew like I was shy, I was scared, I didn't know what I was doing, I felt embarrassed, but like who cares? Like it's all about perspective. There are so many people in this world who would kill to be in your shoes to be able to go to the gym. And so take advantage of that. Take advantage of the fact that there is a gym for you to go to that you can drive to. Some people literally like can't even like go to the gym. There is no gym. They use dirt and buckets to be able to like just get a workout in. So be grateful. It's all about your perspective on how you view things. But again, that's just my spiel. Because I did see a question really quickly. Hi, I'm taking the One Soul creatine. I was wondering if I could take pre-workout too. Yes, you most definitely can. Totally safe to do it. I just, if you checked in with my last live stream where I did talk about pre-workout, just make sure that you're not taking your pre-workout every single day, just because you don't want to build that caffeine tolerance. There's not like a whole bunch of caffeine in our pre-workout, but just so that way, you know, every time you do use it, you're getting the most out of it. That's what we want. So just make sure that you're keeping that in mind. But yes, tracking your progress beyond the scale. So take those pictures. Sorry, I burped. Take those pictures, take those videos, so that way you can be able to track your progress, and future you is thanking you for that. And that way you can be able to see the difference of how far you've come. Another thing is using like a measuring tape. I loved using a measuring tape because I was able to like wrap it around my glutes, wrap it around my waist, and I could see the difference versus like a scale. Because a scale, there's only so much to know what's actually going on in your body, because you know, you got water retention, you got if you went to the bathroom or not that day, and I'm talking number 2, guys. If you went to the bathroom, because that could be like an extra 5 pounds you got going on in there. But you know what I'm saying? So there's just a lot, you know, whether you ate that day, did you measure yourself in the morning, at night, in the afternoon, are you on your period? Like there's so many different things. That's why I'm like, don't rely on the scale all the time. Now, unless you have like a really nice gym and they offer like those really detailed ones where it could tell you how much muscle you have, how much body fat you have, like go for it. Like if you have access to it, like go for it so you can be able to track it. Just don't hop on the scale every single day and expect to see a difference, because you're always going to be fluctuating. There's just no accurate way to know if you're doing it every single day. I highly recommend that you at least do it like 1 week apart, every 2 weeks, once a month. Then you'll be able to see like a genuine difference if the weight's going up or down, depending what your goal is. So yeah, and then just also how you feel when you're trying on your clothes. Like that's another great way to track your progress. There's so many different ways that you can go about that I wish I took advantage of when I first started, instead of relying so much, and like my whole mindset was altered because I was relying so heavily on the scale, and it became like my whole personality. And it just got to a point where I was just like letting that determine if I was seeing success or not. So I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to be able to see success in different ways. Okay, next one. Okay, so I have 2 more topics. Cardio isn't the only way to lose fat. Now, this is something that like I wish I knew as well because when I gained so much weight, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do so much cardio in order to lose all this weight, to get back to like how I wanted to be, like, you know, fit and lean. I was gonna have to do so much cardio. I thought that was the only way out. And you know, I would be seeing like everybody do like these intense cardio workouts of like sprints, and then on the treadmill, and then this, and then burpees. And I hate burpees. I will not do burpees ever. But doing cardio is actually like, shouldn't be your number 1 concern. Diet is your number one concern. Taking the right supplements is your number one concern. To make sure that it's reflecting to lose weight, because like I've mentioned before, and you guys should all know by now, is that 80% of your results comes from what you put into your body, eating wise and supplementing wise. So if you are not properly taking care of that, then just doing cardio alone is not going to make you lose weight. It's not. If anything, you'll just become like skinny fat because you're not properly nourishing yourself. And that could be a concern that you might have. So I highly recommend that what you're eating, making sure that you're in a caloric deficit to reflect that you're trying to lose weight. And you could even do low intensity cardio. I love doing low intensity cardio. I will do like the Stairmaster like speed 4, which is not a fast paced speed whatsoever. And just doing that for 10 minutes, even 15 minutes, like that's low intensity cardio. You could do it for 30 minutes if you want to. That's still low intensity cardio. You can go on the treadmill on speed 3 to 5, like that's low intensity cardio. You do not need to be like jogging for an hour. I mean, like, unless you like to do that, it's totally up to your preference. But that's not the only way to lose body fat. Doing low intensity cardio is a great way. Lifting weights is a great way. Like, a lot of people undermine the whole like lifting weights. You're not gonna get bulky, you're not gonna get big unless that's your goal. But if you're in a caloric deficit and you're trying to burn body fat, build muscle, lean out, tone out, highly, highly, highly recommend that you pick up some weights. Whether you're picking up weights, you're going to Pilates class, whether you're going to yoga, like there's so many different ways that you can lose weight. But as long as your diet is reflecting that, you'll see the results to lose weight. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then my last topic is it's okay to have off days. I cannot stress to you guys how many times I have had to take months off from the gym just because, you know, mentally was going through it. So many changes in my life. I've had loved one pass away. I've had to start school somewhere new. I've moved to different places. Like, I've had so many different situations in my life, moving jobs, like you name it, where I've had to rebuild, take a step back and just think about myself. And, you know, yes, the gym is a lifestyle, but you know, you got to pick yourself and your mentality first. And there's definitely been times where, you know, I had to take months off. And I remember when I first started in the gym, and whenever even just taking one day off felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. Like, I was freaking out. I was so scared. I was like, oh, my progress is out the window, like freaking out. And I remember the first time I had to take a couple months off and seeing my progress like slip away was a lot. It was a lot to take in. But you know, you pick yourself back up. I always came back better. There's always room to come back better, have a huge comeback. And just in general, I kid you guys not, every time I had to take a step away from the gym, I always came back 10 times harder. The results always hit 10 times better. And it's all about your perspective. Everything comes down to your mindset and your perspective. If you are gonna view it in a way of like, I've lost everything, that's it, I'm done for, I'm never going back to the gym, that's on you and you only. And that's your perspective and only you to blame. I'm gonna be a little harsh, give you guys a little tough love here, because I'm basically talking to myself and like past me at this point, not even you guys specifically. Because, you know, like I mentioned, back in the past, when I went through that, like, she was freaking out. And there's definitely times where she wanted to quit and give up and never go back to the gym. But she always found it in her to come back. And that's exactly what you guys need to do. And I'm talking to all the people right now who are taking a break from the gym, whether, you know, take a couple more weeks, whatever you need. But as long as you are ready to go back to the gym, and as long as you have that goal to go back in the gym and actually do it, you will come back 10 times better. I promise you. And so I'm gonna leave you guys off on that. I'm gonna see if there's any more questions that we got. I haven't scrolled through. Let me make sure. Can you go over how to use these daily creatine fat burner? Yeah, I actually have a live stream. Hi, Sabrina, if you're still in here. I actually have a live stream where I did go over all of like when to take your One Soul supplements daily, and that live stream is posted, so you are more welcome to go check that out. But yes, to answer your question, you do need to drink more water. If you feel like you're not drinking enough, you probably need to go drink more. About 90 ounces to 120 ounces is great, especially if you're taking creatine. Your fat burner is something that you take in the morning. Greens could be any time during the day. Hydration pack can be after your workouts. But I highly recommend that you go check out that live stream because I go into way more detail than what I just did right now. Let's see if is running, walking 5 days a week for 30 minutes too much? No, it is not. I think that sounds great. 30 minutes is not too much. It sounds just right. It sounds perfect. As long as, it depends what your goal is. If you are trying to burn body fat, build muscle, I highly recommend that you do your cardio after your lift session. Again, like I just talked about, I highly recommend that you do start incorporating some form of weightlifting. You don't have to lift extremely crazy. A lot of people get turned off by the term weightlifting because they think that they need to lift heavy in order for it to actually work. You could literally pick up 5-10 pound dumbbells. Like that's literally what I do for upper body because I like to maintain like smaller arms. I like the Princess Pilates look. So I be using body weight, I be using bands, workout bands. I'll be using 5 pounds. Like it's rare that I even pick up a 10 pound. But I've also done it before where I was lifting with 40-pound dumbbells for upper body when I was trying to get bigger. And that was like a whole different goal from where I'm at currently. I feel like I've done it all to be able to tell you guys like how to do it and how to navigate it. But I got off topic. To answer your question, no, I don't think it's too much. Walking is great. Everybody should be getting their steps in every single day. So I think that's a great thing that you're doing. Let's see if there's any more questions. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask at any time. I don't see any right now anymore since that one, but feel free to ask me questions. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes in case there are more questions, whether it's One Soul products, whether it's fitness, whether what we just talked about. Salpy's the one who's been answering your questions. You've seen her everywhere. You already know her, love her. But I'm going to be doing a personal training session with her on TikTok live stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you guys are most definitely going to want to do that. If you guys don't really already know, I'm a personal trainer, so I'm going to be giving Salpy a personal training session. And you guys will be able to see me give her form tips, corrections. I don't know if she's shaking in her boots right now, me telling her that. I'm a nice personal trainer, so I'm not going to be yelling at her or anything like that. Hi guys, if you just came back from the live stream, I don't know what just happened. This is like the 3rd week in a row where it completely like kicks me off. And I don't know why. So I'm so sorry. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It happened last week where it kicked me off. But again, if you guys have questions, please, please, please feel free to ask away. I'll be hanging out here. When will the restock? It's coming very soon, guys. Very, very soon. I promise. We are working all of our magic powers to make sure that it is coming back as soon and quickly as possible. We know that you guys loved it so much. I loved it so much. Trust me. I got the creatine. I believe it's called When Do You Recommend to Use It or How? So for creatine, you can take that literally any time of day. I like to take it, for some reason, I like to take it around like 6-7 p.m. I don't know why, it kind of changes, but as long as I'm consistent and as long as you take it every single day, it does not matter when you take it, to be honest, as long as you take it every single day. And whether that's, it's best that people recommend like, oh, take it at a specific time every single day so that way you remember. It's more of like a memory thing, so that way you remember to take it consistently. But like I said, like I will work out in the morning and then I'll take my creatine like randomly throughout, or not randomly, but like it is random because it's just at 6 p.m. every single day. So you can most definitely do that. You could take it right before your workout. If you're taking 2 scoops, you could take one right before your workout, one after your workout. Do I have to work out? Yes. I would highly recommend that you work out in order to see the results because yes, diet is crucial, but there's still that 20% that you got to give effort to the workout in order for things to like work and effectively transform your body. So don't be that person who's just like not gonna work out. Go work out. It's good for your body. It's good for your muscles, especially as we age and get older. Go work out. It could be a light workout. It doesn't need to be anything intense or crazy. Why do you have to drink lots of water when taking creatine? It's because your muscles need it in order for it to absorb into your body. But I also talked a lot more deeply into it in my previous live stream where I talked about the difference between pre-workout, creatine, and hydration. So I highly recommend that you also check out that live stream. It is posted and good to go. What's good to lose arm fat, arms and stomach? You're gonna wanna be in a caloric deficit. Caloric deficit, eating properly, making sure that your calories are reflecting that. I recommend taking our fat burner, making sure you're getting your protein in. Again, caloric deficit. And I also recommend doing lightweight and less reps, lightweight and more reps to help. A lot of people think that, oh, like getting stronger in my arms, like you're just gonna end up turning the body fat into muscle, and then that's when people get like bigger arms. So I highly recommend that you do less weight and more reps when it comes to upper body. I'm right there with you. I used to have bigger arms. I slimmed them down by being in a caloric deficit, making sure I was taking the right products, and making sure that I was doing less weight, not lifting heavy, and doing more reps. And that's what helped me slim my arms down. Thank you. Is it Kimbo? Or do you just go by Kim? I don't want to call you Kimbo if that's not your name. But yes, thank you guys. If you're trying to get a booty, like, and you're trying to grow your glutes, like I'm telling you guys, like I've been in the game for 5 years. I'm a personal trainer. I've been bigger. I've been smaller. I finally have reached like my physique that I'm aiming for. Like I want to help you guys be able to get there too. So trust me with everything I'm saying. I want nothing but success for you guys. But yes, if anybody has questions, it's Kim. Okay, cool. Hi, Kim. I do record my workouts and I'll post them sometimes here on our One Soul account or our TikTok. But yeah, a lot of my progress pictures, videos, all that is up on our Instagram, on our TikTok. So you'll be able to look through it. You'll be able to find it and whatnot. And so yeah. And then, yes, I have an Instagram. But again, a lot of the things I've posted are on our One Soul account as well. So you'll be able to see it there too and whatnot. And I also do live streams where I'm doing live workout sessions like myself, my own workout. And I give so many tips and tricks and everything that I want to share for you guys to be able to do at your, where can we check it out? It's on our One Soul TikTok, on our One Soul Instagram, where you guys can see a lot of my fitness progress, transformation. You can see it all there. But yeah. And so yeah. And again, you can see my live workout sessions. I go live to do my own workouts. Check out our Instagram stories and keep up to date with those, because then you'll get to see the whole schedule of when I do go live and do my workout sessions. Tomorrow, I'm going live with Salpy at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She's gonna be doing a workout I'm putting her through. It's gonna be lower body and core focused. So if you guys are trying to get some lower body tips and core tips, tomorrow Salpy and I are doing a whole workout where I'm gonna be training her, giving her a whole bunch of tips and everything and corrections. I'm a nice trainer. I will not be yelling at her. So that's happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And check out our Instagram stories where you guys can see everything about where we are posting our whole live stream schedule. I highly recommend that you guys stay on top of that, keep on top of that, so you guys can see when we're doing live streams and what the topics for the live streams are. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on TikTok only. It is on TikTok only, so go join that. If you don't have TikTok, go download it so you can watch it and be able to tune in to our live streams. Instagram lives is just on Wednesdays. TikTok lives are Monday through Fridays. So go check out our TikTok live stream, and then you guys will be able to see it. It's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, whole training session. You'll be able to ask questions, check out everything, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, bye guys.